Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I beg for you to be smarter in this moment. Man. Hey besties, hey, it's Behind the Shade, and we gotta talk Real Housewives of Potomac. It is the third part, last part of the reunion, honey. It's season 10, episode 20, honey. The way Stacy said that to Monique was clever, and this is why we like Stacy. So let's get into it. So it's a continuation from last week. Remember, Monique has a receipt, has her phone up. She knows that they cannot play it. And I believe that's because of Chris's uh, cease and desist on Monique. So she plays a conversation on her phone that she was having with someone. It was 100% blurred out. We're just sitting there looking at facial expressions, and we want to know who it was. So let's do this. If you can't tell us, then don't do that, because that okay. So now we're all wondering, well, who was she talking to? I've heard it was her son, Chris Jr. And by the looks of everyone's faces, because Tia was shaking her head, Giselle's mouth dropped. I don't believe there's anything a kid can say that would make those reactions happen. So, was it Chris Sr.? These people seem to know the person because they kept, when they started talking, they kept bleeping out the name. So it can't be Cookie because they were saying her name later on. Charisse, they wouldn't be bleeping out her name. So here we go. So who was it? Is it TJ? Is it Ray? Is it Juan? Was it Robin? Like, who is it? And I'm just gonna be like, I thought it was Cookie at first because that would make her point on the season worthwhile. But it could be a random, it could be someone else. It could have been Karen's daughter. Well, whoever it was, they got Monique's attention. Now, I remember Monique saying how she don't care. She in her soft girl era. She is healed. She's positive vibes. Well, you seem to care so much about this. And don't give me that. Well, that's because there's kids involved. This don't have nothing to do with the children. This is you using Stacy and your ex-husband as a storyline. Did y'all date? Do y'all talk? Did y'all sleep together? What difference does it make? Everyone is single because Stacy divorced her husband. So she told us, I don't even know if we believe that, but they're not even remarried. Monique is divorced, Chris is divorced, and Stacy is divorced, but back with her husband. Monique and Stacy are not friends. They did not know each other. It is totally fine for Stacy to talk, date, and sleep with Chris. Yes. I mean, for someone to not care, you really do care, Monique. Oh, besties, did I tell y'all? I know I did in another video that Jassy got fired. Did anybody else hear that? Was I reading some old fake clickbait or was that real? Y'all let me know if y'all heard it too. And let me go ahead and just say this about Giselle. I found out that Giselle's dad's widow is an old evil white woman. So that's where the bitterness may be coming from. I don't know, that the courts just, I don't know. In my opinion, if he has a wife, she gets everything. He could say who he wants stuff to go to, but if it's not written, if there's no proof of it, it didn't happen. Okay, let's get back to Andy asking Stacy, did she tell Chris that Monique was filming with their kids? Okay, so why is this a big deal? I was asking. Is this because in the cease and desist, was this in there where she can't film and she was breaking a rule? And what happens next? You know, we're so worried about who said it. I want to know the aftermath. What is the repercussion? If did he find proof that she did it? We got to keep this story going. We needed someone on the stage to say, well, here's the proof that you were filming with your kids. Production, you don't have no playbacks. Was it a lie? Because what is the big deal? Did you or did you not? We should have been asking Monique, did she film with her kids? Yes or no? Not Stacy, did you say that to Chris? You know what? Stacy can talk to Chris. What is the big idea? Stacy can be friends with Chris. Stacy can boop a boop with Chris. She does not know Monique. They're not friends. Get sick of it. Can you hear it in my voice? Calm down behind the shade. Drink some coffee. Hold the line. Oh, that's good. Y'all, I'm just like, oh, we need to know, did she film with the kids? Because if she did, let's get into what's the next cause of action. Do they go to court? Does she go to jail? What happens after that? Do Stacy get the kids? It's like, what happens? So Andy asked Stacy, did she say it? Stacy says, no, she did not. Stacy says, check this out. I divorced my husband. I was going through a divorce and going through my own custody battles with my husband, with our daughter, Arabella. Stacy asked, why would she get involved in Monique's family business? She ain't that vested into Chris like you, Monique. She says she wouldn't harm Monique's family. She's too worried about her own family. She's trying to get her husband back. She ain't worried about you, Monique. She don't know you. But then she lied about not being in contact with Chris during production, because she had already showed Monique text messages between them two. It's like, okay, Stacy, they say you be lying. You do be lying. But So Andy turns to Wendy. Wendy, I read body language and I am intuitive like a woman. I can tell what you're thinking without you even saying anything. Wendy, are you waiting on Stacy to come clean? Wendy was like, no, not at all. You're reading the wrong room. I'm just looking at how everyone now is turning their backs on Stacy. You know, the tide is turning. And so child, Monique was like, it was like, okay, so Stacy was like, well, let's call Chris. I love that. But, you know, Monique was like, no, you're lying, and Chris is messy. He ain't gonna really tell the truth. And I said, look at Monique. She don't want that smoke, honey. And then here go Jassy. That's why she got fired. Because she been nasty this whole reunion. So here she go. She accusing Stacy of, going to bed with Chris. And if that is true, he ain't gonna tell the truth, no way. And here I go. Let me just go off again. And so what if they are sleeping together? They can. What is wrong with you guys? So Jassy's comment did not land, honey. Okay. On to the host of vacations. Here we go. Oh no, wait. So here go Tia. She was like, well, we have to get to the bottom of it because, and it's like, girl, be quiet. She just talking to be talking. Oh, poor Tia. Tia, we don't need to get to the bottom of it. Andy wants to move on. Okay. Okay. There you go. So on to the hosting of the trips. So Andy asked Giselle, does she feel bad with excluding Stacy's name from her robe? And Giselle was like, no, what I do regret is that I got her size mixed up. It was a size large, and I wish I would have gotten your size, Stacy, which is probably a medium because she's tall. So you don't regret not putting her name? She said no, because no, I don't regret not putting her name on the robe. That was gonna happen because I was intentionally being shady. Okay, reasonably shady. So a viewer asked Angel, like, why are you always sitting the ladies in a silent circle? Why you always got these women sitting in a silent circle? And child kind of keyed on that, bestie. I was like, right. So Angel realized that after always trying to get this group to meditate, that's not for them. They're not the meditation type, okay? Okay, they asked about Stacy's potato salad. Was it really good? Wendy said she's had worse. It was okay. She this Stacy was like, Wendy, that's enough. You don't have to keep going into it. Just it was okay. That's good. Right. And then Giselle says, no one touched it. So they talk about Tia's polo event. I thought we were talking about vacations, but we had to throw Tia in there because she is here, right? So Tia's polo event with all of the coworkers, and that is a code word for white people. This was a viewer's question, so I guess it had to be asked. So Tia said, "Oh, they love them," and she's still employed there. Jackson gonna say, "Yeah, you can." And she says she's still selling homes, and so Jackson gonna say, "Yeah, so you can take care of your hubby." And it's like, why you got so much smoke for Tia? What girl about that Mr. Sunshine? So she can take care of her husband, huh? Well, that's her problem. That's her business. Tia says she sells homes much more than the one she has that is at $150,000, and it's a townhome. Uh huh. Be quiet, Jassy. Hush up. Close your mouth. Yeah. Uh huh. Be quiet. So Angel apologized for the no water at the Colorado Airbnb. But she did feel like Giselle and Ashley did deserve the small bedroom. She's like, nope, that was my get back. They deserved it. I do not apologize for that. And so Giselle's telling Angel, well, you messed up because you didn't check on us. You didn't check on us enough. Because Angel says she knew about it because she texted Jassy. And then Angel says, well, she wasn't in the group chat, so she didn't know. And so, it's just like you wasn't a great host, Angel. Angel said she was trying to fix the problem behind the scenes instead of address them. It's giving you that Angel, is afraid of confrontation. She doesn't know how to lead, and I understand Angel. Angel was trying to find a different accommodation for them. So when she came to them, she could move them somewhere else. But it's like they're in the middle right now in a disaster. They can't, shower correctly, wash their face correctly. They can't flush the toilet. Like, Angel, it's like a 911 situation. I don't know, like, did your husband not want to get involved? Y'all could have came up with something. I mean, at this rate, she says after looking back, she felt like she could have done things differently. And I'm like, if that was me, right? I would have never done nothing like that. But it's just time to call hotels. Or like in a 911 situation, it would have been like, I'm finna send somebody. Did they have car service there maybe? Only thing to do is pack up your stuff and come to my house. That's all there is to do. That is all there is to do. But if I remember correctly, Angel tried to get in touch with the owners of the home and they lying talking about, oh, it's working. They probably never made it to the house because the girls didn't see them. They didn't leave a note. They didn't leave an invoice. They didn't call to say they was coming in while they would be gone. Did the owners even come back to the house to check on the water? Or they just giving her information? Or you know how Colorado is. If you don't use it a lot, it comes on and it goes off. It works sometimes. I would have just had packed them up. You just got to go somewhere else. You got to come here. Take your showers, get dressed, and we'll get you to a hotel. Which would have worked out better because hopefully they would have been, closer to Angel's house. So that would have worked. But nevertheless, and then they're saying, I have never ended up on the side of a road eating from a food truck and having gas station margaritas. But Angel took full responsibility. She just doesn't know how to lead, okay? And then the way y'all talked to her on that plane on the way to Aspen, that probably lessened your chances. So she sees what she could have done differently. Okay, so bye, Jassy. Bye, girl. Bye, you. Bye-bye. Bye, C19 dress. Bye-bye. And hello, Karen. Child, some of the ladies think the sit-down interview with Andy and Karen, they telling him, you did good. You did a good job. I was like, no, not really. She comes in. She come in with a crew. Here comes she's like, are you still Andy's asking, are you still the grand dame? And she got first seat, y'all. She said if her first seat wasn't available, she would have sat in his lap. Okay. And what is going on with Karen's face? She's gotten work done, huh, y'all? Did y'all notice that? What y'all think about her face? Drop down in the comment section. Let's start talking. What is going on with Karen's face, honey? What is she, like 61? Why does she look... Okay. Well, is she still the grand dame? Because she was trying not to be one. I was like, no, she's the drunk dame now. Call her the drunk dame. So she had all good things to say about the rookies, Angel and Tia. She was glad to see Monique. She says Giselle was the most supportive of her. Giselle would drop letters in the mailbox to her. And I wasn't sure I guess she was mailing her while she was locked up. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Karen asked Stacy, is she dating Chris? Girl, you don't really, you gonna get on here and start grand daming, huh? But you don't want to be one no more. And so Stacy answered no. And she go, Karen, please don't lie. Because I do know. And I'm like, Karen, you lie. You've been lying about these DUIs. You just told Andy you got 4 DUIs, but you only been charged for 2. So in your mind, you only have 2 DUIs. Girl, you a lie. So Karen says she's at peace in her sobriety. Good girl, fine, good. And Bessie's questions. Do y'all think Karen should be here? Like, do y'all think she should be able to come back? 4 DUIs? And another thing, how come Shannon didn't go to jail? How come she didn't go to jail? She didn't ran into somebody's house. Do we already know why? So here go Andy. You didn't seem comfortable saying you're an alcoholic. Aren't you one? Isn't that the first step? Admitting, Here go Karen, the drunk dame. I'm in lifetime recovery. So they play it back to her interview with him, and that's what she said. She says, no, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm still not. Don't put that on me. People may say that. That's them. I don't care. Woo, woo, woo. I was like, oh, it's giving ego, baby. That ego will not chill. That ego Karen got will not chill. And I'm like, Andy, the alcoholic will never call themselves one. Others do. Other people label them an alcoholic. And so a viewer asked, at BravoCon, they were cheering and applauding for Karen. They was like, why? She has 4 DUIs. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. And, Karen had something to say. People gonna say what they want to say. True. Well, Monique says she's proud of Karen because she saw her walls drop after her parents passed. And Karen is doing her work now because she says she was in denial. So I said, okay, there goes some accountability. There you go. There you go. So on to Karen and Wendy. Karen says Wendy betrayed her and became cool with Stacy. Wendy says, no, you called my mother a witch. And that's when we stop being cool. Here go Karen. Oh, I adore your mother. I love your mother. And, I like when she told you that you need to STFU this season. Everybody's like, wow. Yes, Wendy, you do need to be quiet. I think you did not need to answer any questions tonight regarding your case. You're talking about you seek legal counseling, and they are here for evidence. They're here for evidence. And when you talk, you give them evidence. Wendy, be quiet. Andy had to cut Karen off because he said, well, that was a rough scene for Wendy. And then he brings up her fraud charges. I'm like, okay, now wait. Andy was really taking control of how this reunion flows. I don't know, is it because he's a father and he's used to kids making noise? But honey, he was shutting folks down. Not, he'll let you say one thing and he was moving on to the next. I guess they had a lot to cover in a short amount of time. But baby, the way Andy cut Karen off, well, that was a rough scene for Wendy. And then he's like, okay, Wendy, on to your fraud charges. He's like, well, you making another rough scene. So, he's asking everybody how they feel. Angel was like, I wish for her day in court. She need to get what she gonna get. She deserved what she deserved because she was cold towards me. And I was like, you know what, Angel, you get the things twisted. You get mad at people for reacting. Giselle was the one who was cold towards you. She's the one that called you a catfish. Wendy laughs and you mad at Wendy and not mad at Giselle. Kay says she was shocked, but now she sees why their friendship suffered. Because now she knew, because she knew. She said, well, Wendy knew what she was going through. That's why she was acting like that. I was like, ooh. Giselle says she likes Wendy and she's disappointed. So Wendy tells the story. Now, didn't we just tell Wendy to be quiet? Well, she's not. So she tells this lie that their house was broke into in 2024 when they came back from vacation. I believe they came back. Was it Jamaica? I think they were coming back from Jamaica. I think that's what I remember. So fast forward to October 9th, 2025, the police came back to her house and they said there was no burglary. And she just said no more. So I'm guessing, if I remember correctly, that was the day they were arrested. And I'm like, lies, Wendy, lies. What else did they say? So she said, honey, during that time, we knew nothing. We knew nothing. They told you something. They don't come to your house to arrest you and you just let them arrest you for nothing. They tell you why they are arresting you. Karen prays that her case is dismissed and tells her to stop talking before she goes to jail. Wendy's going to jail, Karen. Wendy and Eddie are going to jail. I don't know if they're gonna do them like Teresa and Joe Judice, how one went to jail. Excuse me. Excuse me, besties. I don't know if one's gonna go to jail first and then the other one, and I hope that happens. I wish for that. I really do. If they do go, and I mean, I believe they will. Fraud is fraud. Fraud is fraud is fraud. It's illegal. It's against the law. Yes. And so I just hope they do that. Yeah. And so Karen is like, when you talk, they're watching everything you say. And I'm like, they sure are. But we wishing you the best, Wendy. Wendy says that she says what she already said is public information, and her legal team is aware of what she's saying. And y'all know her husband is an attorney also. But okay, Wendy, enough is enough. Stop talking. So Wendy tells us that her and her sister and her mom, they're in a much better space, and they're getting, of course y'all getting better. Your mama probably sorry for putting you through most of this. Most of this is her fault. You try to ball and everything and gotta take care of her, and she want all the things. She want to look like you, dress like you, carry the same purses, drive the same car. Honey, that mama feels like she deserves it all because they daddy wasn't no good. That's cold. And I wonder, does the sister have to give the mama money too? Like, what's up? What is up? So Wendy, Andy's like, Wendy, you were taking care of your mom, you're renovating your home, you dress fly. Were you trying to keep up? No answer. Okay, what about these aliases that you have? Honey, Wendy said them aliases was for packages only. Child, I said, girl, that was another key for me. Her legal team corrected that narrative in court. They do not have aliases. I'm like, girl, they said you had 67 of them. You got credit cards up the yin yang. The aliases were for packages only. Girl, are you serious? You could use your kid's name. You don't have to use your whole last name. Who coming for you? I know you got a P.O. box. Use your mama's at girl. Lies. So, how's your marriage, Wendy? Well, we've hit rock bottom. We have hit the bottom of the rock. We're holding hands and hoping to rise up together. Who's going to watch your kids when you go to jail? Andy, like, I ain't trying to hear nothing you say, Wendy. You going to jail. She's like, I pray that we don't get there. Well, things don't look good. Tell us something. I mean, your mama and your sister gonna watch them? Duh. They ain't going to your father's house. So Wendy's like, let's let this play out in court. Wendy is trying his best to break Wendy down. He want her to cry. So he goes into you are a strong Black woman. You are a standout housewife. You are educated. You are career driven. You love your family, your culture, your faith. This is unbelievable. So now Wendy is crying. She thanks Andy for his great hugs. She say when he hugs her, she feels the magic, honey. She feels the love, the support. It's real. She feels his love, honey. She says she's in the valley right now, but she's being a better woman because of it. Okay? So, who was that brought up that Giselle don't have no package? And I was a little confusion. Shout out to Funky Dineva. Y'all, I was like, no package. What are they talking about? I had to do a deep dive. So what that meant was Giselle had no storyline because part one they addressed, Ashley, Tia, woo woo woo. Part two they addressed whoever they addressed last week. And then this part, Wendy, Karen, the trips, and then Giselle, nothing. No storyline. She gave nothing. Is she coming back next season? She should be worried. You know why she should be worried? Because this is year 10. This is the 10th anniversary of Potomac, and her and Ashley were in the second chair. The second seat. Y'all the queen bees. Been here since day one. And y'all both are sitting in seat number 2. Honey. So no package. Nothing. Nothing. So you coming back, Giselle? And if you do, what you gonna talk about? So we're at the end of the show. Andy wants everyone to, what did you learn from the show? Angel says being zen and calm doesn't mean that I skip over the things that bother me. Tia, I need to be more mindful of what I say. Kay, this group of ladies, we have more in common than not. I need to put myself in other people's shoes. Okay, Ashley, lean more into being sisterly. Oh, y'all. So wait, I forgot to say when Andy asked about the singing, and he asked, who is Beyonce? And Ashley was like, me. I was like, girl, that was rich. You are tripping. And honey, when Giselle said, honey, Roberta Flack is turning over in her grave, child, I keyed on that too. I hollered. Giselle, since I don't have no package, my kids are good. I'm dating, but I need to date, with more quality. I need more quality in my dating. I'm going to strive for more quality men. And I'm working on some businesses. I'll let y'all know next season. And she says she will try to embrace the differences in the group. Okay, Stacy, I'm going to stay the same, but I need to be more direct. Yeah, they told you that in reunion part 1. And Wendy, I'm gonna be kinder. And Monique, and Ashley, I guess she's gonna be kinder to Monique and Ashley. I don't know. And so then they toast with champagne. Good, bad, happy, and sad. Clink, clink. And besties, that was the end of the episode. Yeah, Andy needs to give up hosting the reunions. We need somebody that's gonna bring just something different to the reunions. And we don't need them to be 3 parts anymore. Can we just do 2? Can we just have a 90-minute reunion? I think all this could have been cut down anyway. Well, I will say, besties, let me know down in the comment section. What do you think? What did you think about season 10? I enjoyed the Real Housewives of Potomac this season. I did not enjoy last season, but I did enjoy this season. The besties, let's continue the conversation down in the comment section. Make sure to like the video, hype the video, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And I'll be back with Married to Medicine. Bye, besties.